You don't have to do this tonight. You could leave. Start over somewhere they can't.
Kael,
Yes.
I choose this, not because I was born for it, because I understand what it protects.
I remember I loved someone here, in this castle, a long time ago. Who? I can't. She is gone from me completely.
The archive had been waiting for all of them, not just the prince and the key. Every person shaped by the prison's long shadow gathered at midnight over the mural that had always known this night would come. When she stepped over the mural's edge, the gold light changed quality, warmer, steadier, the way a flame settles when it finally finds the wick it was meant for. The mural had been waiting specifically for her feet on its stone.
It's complete, the third stage is done.
What comes next?
You have to ask it, the shadow, not command it. Ask it willingly to show you what it is.
He had spent 30 years being told what the shadow was: weapon, curse, burden, prison. He had never once been told he could simply ask. The simplicity of it was almost unbearable, as if the entire cost of his life had been a misunderstanding about how to begin a conversation.
I have carried you for 30 years without asking what you are. I am asking now. Not as your vessel, as myself. Show me.
It was not a predator. It never had been. It was older than the kingdom, older than the bargain, and magnificent. Kael had carried it his entire life without ever being allowed to understand it. The whispers were not the voices of the dead. They were coordinates, warnings of fractures spreading through the world. For 30 years, the shadow had been trying to tell him. He had only ever been too afraid to listen. Liora father said to her, "It's showing him its true form. I have never seen this."
No one has, not in 2,000 years.
Is he safe?
Yes, it has never wanted to hurt him.
When it settled back to the floor, it stood beside him instead of behind him. 30 years of carrying something that had always been meant to walk with him. The difference was a single step. The difference was everything. The king had not waited for morning. When the court advisor's report reached him, the archive, all night, 4 people. The mural, he had signed the order within the hour. The guards were efficient. They always were. That was the thing about the machinery of a crown. It kept moving even when the man wearing it was afraid.
My lord, the king ordered the sorcerer's daughter is to be escorted from the castle by first light. Return to the king and tell him I will speak with him before first light. My lord, the order is received.
I knew this would come. It changes nothing.
It changes the timeline.
Then we don't waste what's left of the night.
There is a way to move the ceiling forward, before first light, before the king's order executes.
It requires the ritual.
Yes, in the mural chamber, now, if you choose it.
She had been born for this. She had known that since she could read. But being born for something and choosing it are different things entirely. And she had learned in 2 days in this castle that the choosing was the part that mattered. The being born for it was just the beginning.
You don't have to do this tonight. You could leave. Start over somewhere they can't.
Kael,
Yes.
I choose this, not because I was born for it, because I understand what it protects.
He did not argue. Not because he had no words, he had too many, and none of them were the right ones. He simply looked at her and let what he felt be visible on his face, for the first time without pulling it back. It was the only gift he had left that she would be able to keep. The ritual chamber had been built when the castle was built around it. Actually, the castle constructed above it rather than the chamber dug below. It was the oldest room in the kingdom. It had been waiting, with the patience of stone, for a night exactly like this one. The chamber's symbols lit when her feet touched the floor. They had been waiting for her specifically. Not for the bloodline, not for the prince, for the girl with no shadow, who would stand at the center of it and choose what she chose freely.
I will be here. When it is done, I will be here.
I know. Don't let go of those. They were from you.
Your shadow, in the reflection.
The water shows what is true in every world, not just this one.
In every world.
In every world.
The water showed every world at once. In each, the same 2 figures stood at the same edge, facing the same choice. Different names, different lives. The prison had been running the same calculation for 2,000 years.
I understand now what they did to you, what you have been trying to do. I am not your vessel, and I am not your carrier. I choose to be your partner, willingly.
It did not feel like being consumed. It felt like the first complete breath he had ever drawn, as if every breath before this one had been half a breath, the other half belonging to something he had been afraid to let all the way in. The obsidian crown changed as the shadow merged, becoming something almost alive. He was no longer a prince carrying a burden. He was becoming the first king of shadows.
It's working, the willingness is genuine, the prison is accepting it.
I know.
It is time for your part.
I know that too.
The water held her. It always held the shadowless because the water existed between all worlds simultaneously and knew her as she truly was, not as the absence others saw, but as the space between where the light lives and where it goes. 2,000 years of preparation had led to this moment. The prison had never required obedience. It required willingness from both its keeper and its key.
Wait, there is something I was supposed to...
I know what you were supposed to do.
I'm sorry, I can't remember why
I know, it's all right.
The last thing Elder Voss felt was not triumph, but forgiveness. It was enough. It was the particular piece of being forgiven by someone who had every reason not to. He did not die. The order did not kill its failures, it emptied them. He would wake with nothing beyond the memories of a young man who still knew his own name. It was mercy. It was also the price.
When it's done, I will remember you, everything.
I know, that is how it should be.
It isn't fair.
No, it is just true.
She had been born to be the key. She chose to become it. The difference was everything that had happened between them. She took one last breath and let it go. The white light was not magic. It was willingness. The oldest force in the world, freely given. It had always been the only thing capable of sealing the prison. Liora said to Kael, "I see you. I want you to know I see you completely." Kael replied, "I know. I have known since the archive." And she said, "Good." As the white met the gold, the prison began to close. Not by force, but by consent. For the first time in 2,000 years, the shadow, its keeper, and its key had chosen the same thing. He did not look away. She was not losing him only the memory of loving him, so he watched her until the very end because it was the only gift he had left to give.
The garden. Remember the garden as long as you can.
Silver blooms, moonlight.
Yes.
Yes.
The last thing she remembered was not his name or his title. It was the way he had smiled at her in the torchlight, as though she had given him something he hadn't known he needed. She held on to that until the seal took it. The prison closed, not with force, but with finality. The oldest bargain in the kingdom was finally honored as it had always been meant to be. She remained entirely herself. The seal had taken only her memories of him. She was still Liora. She simply no longer knew his face. He did not look away. He had promised himself he would not look away when it happened. He had not understood, when he made that promise, how much it would cost to keep it. He kept it anyway.
Are you all right?
Yes, I feel clear, like something has been finished.
Yes, something has.
4 people stood in the ancient chamber. One had surrendered every memory of him. One would remember her forever. One had lost himself serving the wrong cause. And one had become something the world had never seen before. The kingdom never knew what had happened before dawn. It only knew the quiet that followed. The king never signed the order. He told himself he needed more time. The truth was simpler. He could not make his hand do it.
It's done. It's done. The seal holds permanently. The girl, she is safe and does not remember. You chose it willingly, the merge. Yes, I should have told you what it was. Years ago, I was afraid it would make you choose it, I know.
He had spent 30 years choosing the crown over his son. Standing before him now, seeing the changed crown and the settled shadow, he finally understood what that choice had cost them both. She woke that morning feeling clear. She told her father the castle was interesting and that she would like to stay and study the archive texts. She did not know why the archive felt important. She simply knew it did. Some things survive the forgetting, not as memories, as instincts. He had always known this would be the price. He would remember everything she had forgotten. He had thought he was prepared. He was learning that nothing prepares you for watching someone you love look at you and see a stranger.
Who is he?
The prince, Kael. He carries the kingdom's shadow.
He looks familiar, in a way I can't explain.
Yes, I imagine he does.
She looked up at him and found a stranger's face. He looked down at her and found everything. That was the shape of it. That was the shape it would be for as long as he existed, which was, now that he had chosen the shadow willingly, a very long time indeed. The mural remembered her even if she didn't remember it. The seal responded to her feet. It always would. She was part of its structure now, not as a memory, but as a foundation. The girl without a shadow had become the most permanent thing in the most ancient room in the kingdom. She would never know. The kingdom did not know its name had been taken off a list. The list that something vast and patient kept of worlds where the door had been left open long enough for what lived beyond it to find a way through. House Veilthorn's name was gone from that list. It would not appear again.
She said you were the most honest portrait in the building. She was right about most things. She still is.
She came to the gallery because the archive pointed her there. She paused before an old portrait, drawn by something she couldn't name. She did not know she had stood there before, or that he had stood beside her. The gallery remembered. It kept its silence.
Two shadows, they hung him in the darkest corner. Why?
They feared what they couldn't understand.
That seems like a waste.
It was.
She said to him, "Your shadow stands beside you, not behind." Kael said, "It chose to." And she said, "That seems right. Somehow." He replied, "Yes, it does." He spent centuries protecting her. In every form she took, in every life the world gave her, she never knew his face. She always slowed her step when he was near, as if something in her recognized what her memory could not hold. He decided, after the first 100 years, that this was enough. On most days it nearly was.